We are live. It's my man, Marshall Fox, and we are here to do this thumbnail workshop with y'all. First of all, thank y'all for being here. Yo, completely random. Yesterday, I happened to get an email from B&H, and B&H was like, welcome to World Headshot Day. And I was like, Katie and Anna, did y'all do this on purpose? I know they didn't, but they were smart enough to say they did. That was just super crazy. I'm like, of all the days for us to be running the thumbnail workshop, is National Freaking Headshot Day. First of all, I didn't know that was a thing, but I think it's something that B&H throws together, which is smart on their behalf because it's a good way to buy some cameras. You know what I mean? All right, people. So this is going to be fun. Marsha and I are going to talk to you about the bestest practices of doing thumbnails. Now, I am a huge stickler when it comes to thumbnails. And the thing that makes it challenging for you people is if you watch a lot of the larger channels, they break every single one of the quote unquote rules. And
facts.
I think that becomes a problem because you guys think, well, they don't need to do it. The reason why they don't need to do it is because they're a very large channel and their people are going to click regardless. They could put up a blurry stain and the people are going to watch that. So as we're doing this, if you have questions, please let us know. I'm going to do one more crazy thing, which is going to probably be problematic, but that's okay. I'm gangster. If you have a thumbnail that you want me to look at, first of all, I ain't nice about it. I am going to come deep, but it's for your own good. It's like when my mama used to bring out that belt with the 3 rows of holes. It wasn't like regular because it was the 70s. Like it had 3 belt buckles and it was like just lots of holes. Yeah, that belt was always for my own good for some reason. Post it in the Facebook group or the Discord and then just tag me in it and be like, all right, man, I'm ready to have you take apart this thumbnail. Now, so we're going to talk about some of the basics. Marsha's going to show you some tips and tricks. We set up some scenes over here so you can see. I'm going to show you what my thumbnail thing looks like real quick. And so that way I can explain some of the things that I think are important about thumbnails. Off the bat, I guess a first question for me to you, Marshall, is you do Infinity Designer? What do you use to make your thumbnails? Okay. And I use Adobe
Affinity
Express.
Designer.
Okay. Now, a lot of you guys are going to use Canva. Canva can do pretty much all of what we're going to show you. As a matter of fact, Marshall and I was talking yesterday, there's one trick that Canva still has up its sleeve that Adobe Express doesn't have. But I've actually been thinking about switching my thumbnail game back to Photoshop. I think I've always done it in Express because, okay, I started my thumbnails in Photoshop. And then in 2020, I forgot when it was. Marshall and my friend Alicio said, hey, I need to know how to do some thumbnails and I'll have Photoshop. What do you guys suggest? And then somebody in the group said Canva. And Alicia was like, I don't know how to use Canva either. I say, okay, I'll learn Canva and show it to you because it can't take but 5 minutes to use Canva. And I started using Canva when it first came out, like 2012, but I just like, this is not Photoshop. I went back to Photoshop. So I started learning how to use Canva because of Alicio. And then he was just like, I'm going to just pay some kid to do my thumbnails. I was like, damn it. That's the end of that story. Have you seen that brother in a minute?
Say it again.
Have you seen Alicio in a minute?
I haven't. No, I haven't seen him. We actually, it's probably like a couple months ago. We got together during, I think it was just before the holiday season. So we're definitely due to get back up.
See, I should have told him to bring his butt to Podfest while we was hanging out last week or 2 weeks ago. All right, so let me show you real quick what I sort of do. Joel said I need Pixelmator and Photomator lessons. Yeah, you know what? I think it turns out that why is this box so huge? Did you do that on purpose? Maybe that's me. I'm tripping.
It wasn't me.
It turns out that Apple just picked up Pixelmator. So it should be easier for you to get training and things on that, due to the fact that you could probably just go learn it at the Apple Store. So just know that that's a possibility. All right, let me pop over to my section real quick. So this is Adobe Express, and I like to do same thing in Canva. I like to do it as a presentation and just add pages. You just set the presentation up, and YouTube is going to tell you 1280 by 720, but I set mine up as 1920 by 1080. The only hard rules I would say is you kind of want to stick to 3 to 5 words on a thumbnail. That's the most important. And that's the one that everybody breaks. Where's my friend Tatiana?
Facts.
I'll be looking at Tatiana because she's an educator and she wants to make sure that you have all the information up front. And that's too much information up front. You can't put like, let's see, what was the title of this video today? I believe the title
Secrets.
was Secrets. Yes.
Well, on the thumbnail say
on
secrets.
the thumb. See, but see
the
what that
title
does.
was longer than that.
Right. But the secret is the secret is it creates a curiosity gap.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know, I never thought I was nosy until I started studying the curiosity gap. And then I'm like, dang, you nosy too. I thought it was just my sisters.
We all nosy to an extent. All of us.
100%. Right? So, okay. Maybe it's everywhere, but like I started driving the most when I lived here. Like I left home at 17. I drove a little bit at home, but most driving experience comes here. If you see any accident on the road, you stop and look. Now you can't do nothing. You're in your car. You're normally doing 35 because traffic is slowed down, but you still look. And always try to figure out, why do we look at the accident? The reality is we're looking to see if it's somebody we know. Chances are never, but your brain just can't help it. So that's why the traffic is bad, because as everybody passes by, even if the person's changing the flat, let's just be serious. Everybody that drives by stop and be like, and then so the whole traffic gets slowed down. That is almost what you're trying to trigger when you do your thumbnail. So outside of the sort of 3 to 5 words, Marshall, what is one of your biggest tips when it comes to thumbnails?
Man, I got so many.
I know
So
you do.
sometimes, I mean, honestly, words aren't even needed in all cases. I mean, they're recommended, but you definitely want to keep it as short as possible and make sure that what is on the thumbnail, the text that's on the thumbnail, is different than what is in the actual title of your video. So it's like you have 2 areas of real estate. You have your title and then you have your thumbnail. So your thumbnail shouldn't be the same. The text on the thumbnail shouldn't be the same as what's in the title, right? So the text on the thumbnail should be like an abbreviation or something that creates the curiosity gap, and then the title should have a little bit more of an explanation. So make sure those 2 are different. I would drop that as a quick nugget as it relates to the title.
I definitely have thumbnails with just one word. And sometimes those are the best ones because you're like, what the heck are they not telling me with this one word thumbnail?
Right.
So now you try to go in. Another big secret of mine, and this is going to be so easy. I'm going to need you to write this down, Joel. Joel's heard this from me. Question mark. Just a question mark. Like you put whatever you're going to put in a question mark, even if it was a 2 image. If I was to face the camera and look at Marshall like strange, and then Marshall was to look at me strange, and in the middle we put a question mark, and then a blurry something in the blue area down here that we don't even know what it is, just blurry, people would be like, what is this all about? Especially, it's funny because it works for the people that know us, because they're going to be like, what the heck are Dr. Marshall making the weird faces for? But even if they didn't know us, they're going to be like, that's an overall clean looking thumbnail. It says clickable thumbnail workshops, and there's a gigantic question mark split in 2 people kind of looking at each other weird. You know?
Yeah.
Torah. I do thank Doc for that one. I had a thumbnail, title, and video title the same. Big difference since those changes last month. 100%. And I think that
Yeah.
that's a hard one to shake. And I think it's just because of how we were raised to write papers and title pages in school. Like you put the title page and then you open up your expose book and you might start to put the statement in the title or I mean on the first page or you title every page. So let's see, Roberto. What's up, Roberto? Or as Anna says, Roberto. I have
Roberto.
tried all the mentioned graphics accent, but always come back to Canva. Since I know how to use it and it gets things done quicker. What can I do to stay focused when learning a new app? Don't switch from Canva. Just stay there. Honestly, this is going to sound super crazy. I would probably still be using Canva if they hadn't have done something crazy with their affiliate program last year, which didn't really affect me because I didn't sell enough copies of Canva to be that level of affiliate. But it was just a thing. I have business morals, and when businesses do something I don't like, I just stop supporting them. End of story. But I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you to stop
Yeah.
supporting them just because affiliate is a large portion of my own a house in Hawaii across the street from the beach, right? So when I see a company that does weird stuff to affiliates, yeah, that was just upset me. And I have friends that got hurt by the process. So I was just like, I can't use Canva. I have to use it for work because Paul, Katie, Caleb, all of them, they love Canva and they really don't care about my business morals. So, I mean, don't switch. Canva probably, Canva is second best in the game. Photoshop is probably the first. Canva is probably the second. Well, Pixelmator because it's a real app. But don't feel you need to do everything. How about we start there? Don't feel you need
Yeah.
to do everything.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't know what happened with the affiliate thing at Canva, but maybe they had to get some funds to they purchased Affinity. So the platform that I use, which I think is number one personally over Photoshop, is
Yeah. Well,
is Affinity Designer. Even though I do use Photoshop for a lot of things. But just to piggyback off of what Doc said, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you've been using it, you feel comfortable with it. Just use what you can use to get the job done. Though I will throw in a shameless plug. In this workshop, we are promoting Adobe Express, which Doc does use, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit of it as well. So we got to make sure we throw Adobe Express in there as
yeah,
well.
and listen, I started on Adobe Express way back in the day when it was called like Post, so I've been Photoshop since Photoshop, like way back in the '80s, and then when I worked at CompUSA and Apple, being a certified Photoshop instructor, I taught Photoshop for years. So for me, it's a comfort zone place. I would definitely say Affinity is parallel, and it took them a couple years to get to that parity. But in the beginning, when it first came out, I didn't use it or switch to it. I wrote the article for it at AOL when I was working at AOL, but I didn't switch to it because it was so different from Photoshop. And I would say over the last 10 years, actually plus, it's almost 20 years now, that thing is basically parallel. So what's good about that app is it's a single purchase, and a lot of people like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
for me, Photoshop, PageMaker, Illustrator, all of the Adobe bundle, that was second nature forever. And I probably would still be using Premiere if I didn't work at Apple and then I was working with the Final Cut team. And so I learned Final
yeah.
Cut and then became a certified Final Cut instructor. So for me, Final Cut is second nature. So yes, definitely don't switch if you don't have to. Just take that out of your head. But I love me some Express. That's where I live nowadays. And yeah, that's it. And this is right. I'm assuming that's Katie. The main focus is make it easier on yourself. Understanding how to build a template. That's the key. Oh,
Hmm.
I forgot all
Yeah,
about that. That's the key. Make it
yeah,
repeatable, bro. So that way your thumbnails have a thing that look like it's you. Like
yeah,
you can kind of tell a Beamer a mile away. And they come up with different models and stuff, but there's a design signature that screams Beamer, and Hyundai always copies it.
they copy a lot of things. They got
So
that new I don't know what it is, that square truck that looks like the Defender. Every time we
Yes.
see it, my wife and I say, "There goes that Hyundai Defender."
Yes. I want to
Still
call
like an
it.
artist, they say.
I want to call it a Palisades or a Telluride because they're the same car. The Kia and the Hyundai are the same. Adobe Express is dope. In addition to using it for
Yeah,
scheduling posts, animating my Photoshop or Illustrator documents for looping flyer. There you go. So yeah, and Canva has all
yeah,
this stuff too. Like pretty amazing. I was showing somebody how to do. Oh, I was showing Taisha how to do graphics overlays using Canva as a movie. So yeah, don't get stuck in the app. Just pick one and call it a day and just stay there. All right, let's get
yeah,
into
yeah,
let's see what you got, Foxy. You got any weird stuff on your desktop
yeah.
before I
I
switch?
was gonna say this is a perfect segue that Katie mentioned. So I'm gonna show you guys Adobe Express. So let me share my screen. Boom.
There you go.
All right, cool. Are we straight? All right, so this is Adobe Express, guys. So just y'all getting a behind the scenes look. Doc and Katie, they haven't even seen this yet. So we're working on updating the thumbnails for the flow, right? Just the overall look and feel. So this, what you're looking at now is Adobe Express. So what's cool about Adobe Express is that you can add your brand into it. So you can see here on the left-hand side, it says brands and library. So if I click this, right? You have your overview, which has your logos, your color palettes, fonts, and assets. You can add your own fonts. You can add any assets that you'll need for the thumbnail, right? Go to logos. You can upload all of this stuff individually, colors. So these are colors that I've added in for the flow. And then fonts. So these are Ecamm's main fonts that they use, which are Thunder and Space Grotesque. Templates. So I'm going to save this as a template. We're going to add a couple of these really quickly so I can show you how easy it is. But make sure you guys stick around. Make sure you're subscribed and you stick around for tomorrow because Katie and Phil, they're going to give you a bit more of a deeper dive into Adobe Express tomorrow. But I'm going to show you how you can create these templates pretty easily and a lot, just really easy and quickly. Okay, so then you can go to assets as well. So these are the different assets that I have. So as you can see, I have some the background images down here. These are some of this wave element that you can see in the background of this thumbnail here. Then we have some photos that Doc took and Katie took. This little vector element, I don't know what it's called, but I thought it looked nice behind the Flow logo. So that's where I use that just to have the logo in the corner. And that's a quick nugget too, y'all. You don't need to have your logo. If you have a show, it's not necessary to have it in your thumbnail, but it does help with brand consistency, but it's not required. But if you have space for it, I would add it just so it can help with that brand consistency. But it's like I said, it's not necessary. What's most important is to create that curiosity gap. Have a curiosity evoking text on top of your logo. That's the most important thing so people can click it. So and I had to learn this stuff the hard way, just working with several clients and I'll show you some examples as well how some of the thumbnails kind of evolve over time. And that's the beautiful thing about it is that you can experiment and you can make adjustments. You can even A/B test thumbnails, y'all. So
Yep.
but you can always experiment. You can go to a video from 2 years ago and change the thumbnail up. And it may even get more clicks. So, but I like how Adobe Express really breaks everything down so you can pull upon it quickly. So this is just one page. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create another thumbnail with the same design language pretty quickly. So as you can see, I don't even use that many layers, y'all. If you look at my Affinity designer files and look at the layers and those thumbnails, it's like 40 layers.
Yes,
But
there is.
um,
Because I had to
yeah,
convert one to Photoshop, and it was crazy. Hold on, before you go further,
yeah.
let me say this. Let me fix something real quick. Sorry, guys, you're gonna watch me build something live. Hey, don't do that. What did I just do? Undo that. There you go. What I wanted to do was this. Come here, come here. Listen, click, and then do like this, and then so guys, I wanted to tell you something. The thing about Marshall just spoke on logos, which again is very sort of important, but what you should know, if you're doing this for your podcast or something of that nature, yes, maybe you want to keep that design language. For a standard YouTube video, the answer is pretty much no. They don't know your
Yeah,
thumbnail. They don't
facts.
know your logo. They have no
Good
idea
point.
who you are. You add no extra basis to that thumbnail. You really just take up real estate. especially in our particular case, our logo is a word. So now you made it 5 words. So let's just say this said amazing budget podcast sets easy, right? That would be 4, but then you add the other 2, now that's 6. So that's more stuff to read, and then that just makes it complicated. So Marshall's correct in the podcast space, but I think if you're doing it for YouTube only, you should almost never use logos unless you're doing the DJI logo or the Anchor logo or the Apple logo, something, because you're talking about that. So I just wanted to say that real quick before we get, let me just disappear myself from Marshall's screen.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, they're not like you said. I'm only talking about like podcasts specific, because honestly, when you just go to your favorite YouTuber's YouTube channel, pretty much all of their thumbnails are going to look different. You know what I'm saying? It's really not going to be any rhyme or reason to it, because they are testing a bunch of. It may even be one version of a thumbnail, and you may come back and see a different version of a thumbnail because they're A/B testing. Like, it's serious, y'all, when it comes to these thumbnails. So, but you do want to have some sort of brand consistency when it comes to the podcast. But still, you should prioritize looking to get clicks if you want. Because the thing is, look, I used to be on the camp of, oh, just make it for purpose and don't care about what people think. But I've learned that not as many people who your video was meant to impact will see the video if you don't design it for clicks. So your video is not going to have that impact, the impact that it's meant to have and reach the people who it's meant to reach, if you don't design it for clicks. So you have to prioritize the clicks first. So, I mean, it sounds, on one hand, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. I just want to be authentically me and have this and that in my thumbnail, because it means all this to me. But you really should prioritize clicks because it'll reach more people.
Your mission to do good doesn't help if you're talking to yourself. My God, that is such a good heater, bro. That is such a good heater.
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna show you how to quickly duplicate this. Let me make sure this looks good in the screen. Hopefully it looks clear on you guys' end. It doesn't look like it on my end, but all right. So I'm gonna do duplicate page, right? You saw Doc, he had a whole bunch of pages. All right, so I'm gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna click Doc, right? And I'm gonna click replace. And then I'm gonna click replace from brands. So it's gonna bring me to my brand folder here. I'm gonna go down to assets, and I'm gonna pick one from Katie. I'm gonna pick this photo of Katie, right? So that photo of Doc is already replaced. I'm just gonna click remove background. Boom. Background's gone. Remove her over. And I'm gonna move the text over, right? Because we kind of want to vary the placement when it comes to the podcast. You don't want everything to be the same. So I have these glow effects as well. So I move this behind her on this side. I move this over on this side just to add some visual interest. That's a little staple, something that I do. I probably overdo it, to be honest.
No, but I like it.
I tend to do that with my thumbnails.
Yes, I like it.
What'd you say? Yeah. So, and then, so you can actually, it looks like something's peeking above her shoulder. So I can go back to remove background. Here. Hold up.
It's one of those warbles.
Erase. Here it is.
Yeah.
Erase. And then I can hit this right there, over that little red thing. Hopefully that'll help. Let me reduce the size.
Dude, when I'm doing this in Express, you can not only reduce the size, you should be able to do brush softness. Oh, there you go. Change it from quick selection to right there. Change it to that next one.
Circle brush.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I got
and then
you.
I reduce the softness, just like, regular app.
Right. Yeah, if you needed more of that granular control.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, oops. Let me get out of this. I'll have the flow here. Let me move the flow over real quick, along with the little background element.
Oh yeah, somebody asked that question. Where did George go? George, I can't answer that question. I'm going to tell you the answer is probably no, you never should. I'm also going to tell you I have never once in my life had anyone say anything about it, especially because these programs, so for instance, Shure sends me a microphone and tells me to make a video about it. They're absolutely expecting me to put the logo. In many cases, they'll send me the logos that they want me to use in the video. So it really depends on the company. I think for the most part, they're not going to get mad at you unless you're selling Shure t-shirts. But if you're making a video that's going to help them sell products, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to give you any heat for it whatsoever. It's kind of the culture of YouTube. So I'm not going to say you're good because that would be super stupid of me, and I'm not Yolanda. But the answer is probably no. So for Ecamm, if you're an affiliate, we give you, Paul, hot with the link. We give you the logos that we want you to use and a brand guideline that says don't squish it. Right. So if Marshall was to take the flow and make it taller or skinnier, then we would sue him. Well, he's our designer, so he knows better. But, we would be really, really mad. And we've had to call people out. It's like, look, we appreciate you making the tutorial, but you can't be smashing our logo like that, fam. It's not egg cam. So, yeah, that's a very good question, exactly. George. Very good question.
So what I'm going to do here is I added a whole bunch of these wave elements, and shout out to my wife because I was working on this last night and I asked her opinion because I was doing a lot with this thumbnail, but she was like, yeah, I think you should go with the all orange one. I was like, I think you're right. So I have different ones. And you can upload SVG files too. And when it pops in, it'll look a little pixelated, but as you can see, it got a lot more crisp. Yes. But I have a lot of different ones. So we can switch them out as needed, just to add a bit more visual interest to the thumbnail. So, and then I can enlarge it or make it smaller. And I can also add white ones too to the corner. That's something that I recommend doing sometimes as well. And you know what? Let me move this because this is getting.
If you use the adjust panel, you can change the color of them using things like duotone or hue saturation. Like I do all kinds of things to change it up.
Yeah, right here, you go to effects, and then go down to duotone, and that's exactly what I did with these light elements because
they were white.
They weren't this color. I think they were purple when I added them in. So what I'll do really quickly, y'all, is
all right, y'all. This stream is over. Y'all might not see Marshall again. I said you changed purple.
What? I know. You know why? Just because we got the background is purple, y'all. That's another nugget. You want to use complementary colors as well. So you don't want to have too much of the same color, right? So that's why I use the orange is like an accent color for the background for podcast, and then for like the little bit of glow, just because it's a good contrast to the background. So something I'm gonna do really quickly is I'm gonna add in. So I'm gonna go to your stuff, well actually brands, and then go over to assets, and I just want one of these white vector elements to add.
Nice.
But I just want to add it in like the corner. So I'm going to like rotate it here and then make it a lot larger. Not over Katie's face, right? It looks like a spider web. But let's say like in the corner up here. And then I'm holding Option and clicking Shift and dragging down to this other corner. So it's kind of subtle, but it just helps to add a bit more visual interest to the thumbnail in a subtle way. So yeah, so that's how you do that. So now we have two different thumbnails that have the same design language, right? And two different people, and we can also create one with Doc and Katie, but it's not necessary to have them both on there at the same time. So you just want to create something that'll get people to click. That's it.
Look, so speaking of design language, I'm going to show you guys something really quick, which might seem a little bit crazy and over the top. If you are looking at any of my thumbnails and something is on tilt, that tilt is always 8 degrees. Why? 8's my lucky number. And it's just an easy thing for me to do as a setting. Like when I put something on tilt, like everything is always at 8 degrees. It is a very weird sort of design language, but that's just the type of things I do. So this question mark is 8 degrees. Yeah. These are all 8 degrees. These are 8. If it's the other way, it's just -8. And then when Marshall was showing you about pulling in the elements, like in Canva and many other programs, people would just put a weird glow around a particular item. what I do for the glow is sort of what Marshall does. I'll put a movement type thing in the back. So this is like, is this still the best camera? I have a picture. Someone in the back is editing videos, right? On this
Hmm.
one, where
Yeah.
I put nobody is perfect, I put a bunch of people in the back, and then they say put the face in your thumbnail. The face really works. You know what also works? Hiding your face. Why does that? Why does hiding your face work? Because when you're a wee baby and somebody does the peekaboo, your brain instantly goes, "Where'd they go?" That is still in your head. So the thing about when everybody was rocking masks, people would stare at people longer because they're trying to figure out if they know the person that was wearing the mask. So I'll show
Hmm.
this. Hopefully this works. The internet is being a little crazy. I'll show you guys in a second on a different thumbnail. Go away. Go back to my other ones. I also use like what Marshall's using with the sort of the fire elements. I'll put in motion if I want you to get the idea that this is important. So Marshall did it with the little vector waves. Oh, my internet is tripping. I'll come back to this. But I'll use something that shows motion, whether that's kind of like a highway looking thing or a sound wave. If we're talking about, doing something with Audible, I'll put a sound wave, something that gives a little motion. So I love the fact that you pulled these SVGs in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I'm laughing because my father. Oh, shout out to my father-in-law Floyd. He says, "Wow, I didn't realize your head was so big, Doc." And for those who don't know, Doc and my father-in-law, they know each other and they from the same generation, so they crack on each other like that.
Why you
So,
gotta be like we from the same generation, you jerk? No, what I do
because
is
it's the
I
truth.
make my head big on purpose, Floyd. So Fulgence didn't figure it out at first, and then when Fulgence figured it out, Fulgence cracks up laughing. But I always use half the time is not my body. So going back to what George asked, I use Adobe because we have the stock elements, and then I purposely embiggen the head. What did there you go. So like I purposely embiggen the head. So in this case, like that's what my head size is. So I do that, right? Because it just attracts
Yeah,
attention to the thumbnail. So like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yesterday, today's video is called "This Changes Everything," and no, you cannot tell that that's a whole shifter back there. But if you catch it, then it makes sense because I was talking about a
Right.
mindset shift. So there's a theme with the title, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think that I am punny, right? So we're talking about wicked fast hotel internet. And the reason why I use wicked because I was in Boston and this is what came to my mind. But underneath the look, there it is. There's a freeway, right? And again, I always
Hmm.
do the really weird, just things in the back that attract your eye to where you're going, right?
Yeah.
Where there's oh yeah, so this boxing one that that's not me. I am nowhere near that skinny. I am not a white dude sleeping on a thing. What do you call that? A beanbag. The tuxedo one is pretty much one of the most hilarious ones. I just found the dude in the tuxedo. There's no head on this tuxedo. I don't know why Adobe Stock thought this was a
Hmm.
good image, but it worked out in this particular case because I could just put the head there. So yeah, I have my little weird tricks. That making the head huge is part of my branding. Like everybody knows now, the
Yeah.
big head thumbnails is going to be Doc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good segue too. When you were talking about what to put in the background, so I'm gonna do almost like a speed run because I have a lot of game to share with y'all.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna show you some of the thumbnails that I created. And then kind of give you some nuggets. All right, give you some nuggets as we kind of talk through them. All right. So we talk a lot about consistency, right? And y'all can see my y'all can see
Yeah,
my screen.
yeah. This is
Cool.
good.
Cool. We talk a lot about consistency. So consistency can come in a number of ways, right? It can be your brand colors, the fonts, etc. But it can also be the layout. It can also be the layout of your thumbnail. So with this one, for example, shout out to my client Jeremy Anderson. He's a motivational speaker, entrepreneur. So as you can see right here, he has this live stream that he does. It's called Next Level Talks. So it's more motivational and empowering. So the consistency here, as you can see, all of the thumbnails have different colors, right? A lot of them have different colors. So the consistency is in the fonts, it's in the layout and overall format, and just overall design of it. So as you can see, the background, it's we have a bit of a motion blur going. We have a condensed angled font. And I recommend that as well, going for a condensed font if it makes sense, because you can fit more into the thumbnail or make your words kind of larger if you have longer words, right?
Yep.
For example, like Docs, it works for him because he may use shorter words that use more of a standard type of sans serif font. But for this, like for example, possible, protecting, hypocrite, those words are a bit longer. So using a condensed font makes me allows me to make the words kind of pop out and not take up so much space. So he likes to use the talking like mid sentence type of shots. So that's something that I
I
recommend if
like
you're
it.
doing more of just a talking. Say it again.
I said I like that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So more of a talking head style video, it works for that. It doesn't work in all situations, but if it's like a talking head video, where he's just talking the entire time with little to no B-roll, it kind of evokes curiosity. Like, oh, I wonder what he's talking about. Then we have the few words on the thumbnail as well. So that's that. You can see the consistency. Then we have the little next level talks logo on all of them in different color schemes as well. So this one's a duplicate, but as you can see, there's consistency there, even though they're all different colors, right? So I'm going to move over here. So this is kind of an experiment where I wanted to kind of talk to you about. So this is another one of my clients, Aristotle. So we were doing thumbnails for his interviews with these public figures, whoever, Michael Vick, DJ Drama. Um, but we realized, okay, we need to put words on it on the actual thumbnail as opposed to just the names. So we started to experiment with I'm sure you've seen this style before. Have one word highlighted with an arrow, millions, and this particular client, he's in the trading space, like options trading. So his whole brand is centered around money and how to make money, trading options. So you'll see that is, primarily when he does these interviews with folks, this is just like a side project of his. He wants to establish credibility with the people that he's interviewing. So that's why you have the millions, 5 million, 100 million plus in real estate, because he knows his audience. That's another nugget, y'all. You really have to know who your audience is and what will get them to click. And a big part of that is you may be a part of your audience. So if
Hmm.
you're a part of your audience, what causes you to click on videos in a particular space? Like me, for example, right now, I'm really into AI, generative AI, creating AI images, AI videos. So, and I may eventually do create videos on that on my channel. So when I do that, I want to create thumbnails like the ones that I click on when I'm looking on YouTube and I look at those videos. And we all have different interests and we all have different priorities when it comes to those types of videos that we like to click on as well, because it may be a thumbnail that's not designed to the nines, right? But you may still click on it because of X, Y, and Z. So real quick, I think I took a screenshot of this. You see this one, for example. I watch all these guys' videos. He has consistency because look, it may not be the best design,
Oh,
but
Bob
he has
Dole.
consistency. All his thumbnails are kind of the same. He has a
Yeah.
lot going on. He has a smile on the face of himself, a quick cutout. So this to me, I value when it comes to this AI space, the speed at which the videos are out. If he's putting out these videos every day, I could care less that the thumbnail isn't amazing, but it's consistent. And I know when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's Bob Doyle.
Hmm.
So his consistency comes with the subtle glow that he has around his texts. He has, of course,
Canva.
someone mentioned free. If you have free, that may free in your thumbnail, that may appeal to certain people. He has whatever tool it is, a couple icons, and he has something crazy going on in the background. He has a little outline around himself. So I click on it. I'm like, I want to see that. I want to see that video. So that's a quick example, right? So let me jump back over here. So we started here and then we kind of shifted to this and we saw the views kind of tick up when it came to putting these large dollar figures or whatever in the thumbnail. And this is another nugget as well. When it comes to these interview style videos, it really just depends on what types of videos that you do. Screen grabs from the actual interview, I've found work well, right? So you can see, and it doesn't always have to be mid sentence, but you want to kind of transport the viewer into the interview before they even click on the video. So you want them to kind of visualize it and be transported like, okay, you see, okay, $5 million network. Oh, I wonder what he does. And they may or may not recognize the person as well. And then, here, Aristotle, he's looking kind of curious. He's like, oh, tell me more, right? So I tend to do that in these thumbnails, and I tend to have the actual guest as the one who's speaking or making a point because he's interviewing them, right? He's interviewing them, not vice versa. So I tend to have them as the one that's speaking and making a point. So see, like DJ Drama, you can see, okay, he has his mouth forming and make a word, but DJ Drama is the one that's speaking, D1. Um, so I just wanted you to see like the shift from, okay, just putting their name up there for brand recognition or just like the name of the person, like, oh, Michael Vick, let me click on that. But people, they've seen Michael Vick a million times by now. They may want to know what the heck he's talking about in the video. So why don't you put something? I mean, we probably should go back and change this thumbnail at this point, right? But why don't you put something in there that he's talking about that may make me want to click on the video, right?
Yep.
So yeah, did you want to jump in? Because
this is cool.
I got
So
if
you could go back to Andrew for a second, I want to say something.
Who, Andrew? Who?
What's the first guy's name? I thought you said his name was Andrew. The other side of the screen.
Oh, Jeremy?
Jeremy, sorry. Jeremy Andrews? Yeah. Is that what you said?
Anderson.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so
that's all good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On thumbnail number 5, the only thing that I would do different with this is I would put protecting peace and then draw a division line, and then I'd put building brand. It's the exact same sentence. And I built the conflict with the conflict line. Because all of you people believe in that work-life balance BS, which is absolute BS. You have one freaking life, bro. There's nothing to balance. You either do or don't. Like, I'm sorry. But because so many people believe in it, that is the conflict. That is the controversy. Right? So it, just giving you an idea for everyone watching, how do you take something that's super important and get it down to 4 words? Protecting peace, building brand / right?
Yeah.
Or just protecting my peace, ? I'm done. I don't need the rest of the sentence. It's the exact same thing. As a matter of fact, it's more.
For sure.
Right?
For sure, yeah.
And then,
you guys have the
go ahead.
You guys have the you guys are the decision makers. So you can put what you want. Like you getting it here, what you should do.
Yeah.
But, I've always got to find that balance between what I recommended and what the client absolutely wants.
That's the hardest part, bro. Because like they don't get a lot of times they don't listen because they think, well, I gotta say this because otherwise they're not gonna click. And I'm like, really though? And this is really crazy.
Yeah.
Are you who you say you are? I would just put who are you? Like that's even more. What? Don't tell me who I am. I'm mad now. I need to know what you got to say. So it's funny, but it's
a good point.
Those are real subtle things, and I try so hard to get my people to pay attention to that. Okay, so listen, this is so fire because the consistency level that is here is amazing, and you just showed off Doyle. That Canva glow background thing, like it's so heavily played out, but I guess it still works. So I like the way Marshall does it, which is find the glow element and put it behind, and as opposed to just do the weird little cutout. You know what I mean?
So as long as it's you, as long as it's uniquely you.
Yes.
And this guy, like, he has the consistency on his side, right? He has the consistency on his side.
Yeah.
So
and
he's just
putting
putting stuff up. He's not overthinking it.
If you're getting 10,000 views in 2 days, your audience already knows, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I think he maybe has like 30 to 50,000 subs, but he's putting these videos out so frequently. I look forward to them. Right? He packs a lot of value into these videos. All right, so I just wanted to cover a couple other things too.
Janice had a quick question.
Another nugget is
let me do this real quick. Janice had a quick question, as she always does. Love you, Jay. Nice. What is the rule for concerning cutting off body parts? How much of my arm or hand is okay to cut off? That is such a good question because in photography, we have all of these weird rules about that. In thumbnails, I break those rules on purpose. I have definitely made thumbnails with half my face. And you would like never do that. And I cut off all myriad sorts of things in thumbnails because I think that's a rule that you can easily break, but it's completely up to you. And I just realized something that you said. When I had my I Got Questions series, look, I put us in mid-conversation and I don't know why. That is so good. Like Jill said something crazy and then I'm reacting to it. And man, Marshall, listen, I don't know if you know you're a genius, but you're a genius. I don't care what Floyd say about you. And then the other question was from Roberto. I did type it in there. I use 1920 by 1080, even though they're going to bring it down to 1280 by 720, because if you send them a larger image that they will compress, it's better than sending them a small image that they will compress. So I send them
Mm-hmm.
more. And they do complain it can only be 2 megabytes. I try to
Yeah.
use PNG when possible, but sometimes that doesn't work. So I'll send a JPEG with like only 98% compression. So that way it's
Mm-hmm.
still pretty, and then they'll go in and smash it up anymore. And the last one from Jay
Yep.
Nice was, who comes up with the language for your thumbnails? You or the client? Um, and do you prior design or after? I am a thumbnails first person. Everybody thinks I'm
Mm-hmm.
crazy. My channel grew a lot when I finally gave up the fighting. I need to do my thumbnail at the end because I need, XYZ. Now, a podcast is
Yep.
different. Especially if you're doing it martial style, you're going to have to do it after. But when I'm doing a YouTube video, I do the thumbnail first. I don't know why it
Yeah.
makes a difference. It still doesn't make sense to me, but I just started following it because all of my friends would like do it this way, and the YouTube people say do it this way, and then it works. If Daryl Eve tells you to
Yeah.
do the thumbnail first, listen to the man. He has built over
Yeah.
25
Yeah.
million something channels.
For sure. That's ideal. But the alternate devil's advocate would be to do it after. Like y'all check out yesterday's stream because that's what Anna talked about. Like
Hmm.
if I'm doing a talking head video like this, once I end the video, I would just pose a little bit, take a couple shots, and then use that. But ideally, if you have the time, you would want to do it prior,
Yeah,
if at all possible. But it depends on the situation. Like these interview style videos, obviously I'm doing it after, right?
100%,
So,
and you need to.
um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So a couple other nuggets that I have is it's fun to use AI backgrounds, AI generated backgrounds as well. So as you can see here, like my client Aristotle, he made a certain amount of money with Tesla stock. So I was like, it would be cool to have a Tesla Model X with money flying out of it. Same here for he made money off of YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, UPS stock. So and then I switched his little outfit to be a UPS outfit. So use AI for backgrounds if needed. Also, a point about consistency here, because of these interview style videos, I made the background almost like a between two fern style background, but that's
I
the
love
set
that.
that he has. It's like a black wooden panel wall with two bushes on the side. So I was like, that is that is the set. So let me incorporate that into all of the thumbnails. So all I have to do is have cutouts of the individuals and put them on here, change the text, and I'm pretty much golden. So you see that brand consistency there. Also, another point on consistency, you can see how
Bro, these are
beautiful this
so
channel
good.
looks
Yes.
due to consistency. Full disclosure, I didn't design these thumbnails. I designed the template to get them started, but as you can see, they're able to take them and still have that consistency on all of the thumbnails, and it looked the same as the profile picture and the header.
You know what's good about that Shan's thumbnails? The italicized condensed font screams action
Right.
movie, which means this is going to
Hmm.
be
Yeah.
on point. And it's called Hot Seat. So it matches.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't put
Right.
that and be like, let's talk about meditation or
Hmm.
ASMR farting. Like, no, it's not. That wouldn't
Right.
work. But for this, Hot Seat, it gives you that, oh, I'm ready. I need to hear this. Love that.
Yep. Yep. And you can see he put the logo. We put the logo in the corner on all of the videos as well, just to kind of solidify that consistency. Um, so this is an example of you don't always need text on the thumbnail. And another thing is to use arrows and circles and stuff because it just
Yes.
draws visual interest to the whatever's in the video. And people are just used to it. So you can see right here for one of my thumbnails, I use arrows and just little hand drawn elements there because it's like, oh, I wonder what he's pointing to. I wonder what that is. Let me click on the video and see what he's circling here. Um, so this is an example of you don't always need text on the logo if you have just a really dope shot. It really just depends on what you're doing because I could have A/B tested this with this and then one with the logo on there. I mean with text on there. Um, and this is dope because I know you guys are like, I want to learn how to design it. There's no design there, but check this out. He has 3 YouTube plaques in the background. He's clearly a young guy. He has braces, right? Not a really dope setup, but it still makes me want to click. You see, this has 781,000 views because of what the title is, and then I can see a few subtle cues in the videos. Like, okay, this is a young kid. He has 3 YouTube plaques. Oh my god, solve YouTube shorts. So everything kind of works together to accomplish the goal.
Yeah, and the gold play button means millions subscribers. The silver play
Yep.
button means 100,000. So
Yep.
let me put this question up here. Thank you, Paul. Otherwise, I would have missed this one. Could you speak a little more about AI backgrounds? I've been wanting to do that, but I have a hard time finding what software to use. I got a good quick tip for that. Pick one. They all leapfrog each other constantly. I use like 8 right now, and maybe I might be lying. I might use like 16, but I use Mid Journey, Gemini. What's that boy called? Chat GPT. Oh my God, I'm forgetting them. Leonardo.
Yeah, Leonardo's good. I love
Ideogram. Like I
Leonardo.
use all of them. So like just pick one. Like one of my favorites right
That's a
now
good segue.
is what the one that's built into here, Firefly. One of my favorite ones is Firefly. Firefly is built into Adobe Express. So like
Yeah, Firefly. They just
you
came out with
can't go
Firefly video.
wrong
I
at this
never heard of.
point, and there is no right answer because this is a moving target. You are trying to jump on the train like in what's that dude's name? I'm a beekeeper. I keep bees. I'm a
Oh, Jason
transporter.
Statham.
There you go. I transport things. Like that guy. He always tells you what his job is in the movie. Yeah. It's like trying to jump on a moving train. So just pick one and don't be scared.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get it wrong. Then it's so hard because you feel like it, especially us of a certain vintage. Like we don't want to make mistakes. So we're like, I don't want to do this and go down the wrong path. You know what's the wrong path? Not going down it. Holla.
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a perfect segue. I definitely second and third Leonardo. I use Leonardo a lot. I love it. It was one of the first generative AI tools that I use. If you guys watch Marshall Creates, you know I use it all the time. I love Leonardo. But I'm gonna tell you guys my new favorite tool to use to create AI images, period. Whether it's backgrounds, whether it's images of yourself, images of whatever. I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'm really excited about it.
Kriya?
So let me pull it up here. I'm too pumped, y'all. So let me all right, so we have Adobe Express. Shout out to Adobe Express one more time. Make sure you guys are
the
tuned
Katie
in tomorrow
faces,
because they're gonna be
everything.
doing more of a deep dive in it. So this is Kriya, y'all.
It's
So this
so
is
good.
Kriya.ai.
So good.
And let me go to the home page that where I'm not logged in. So I can show y'all how dope this is. I'm not an affiliate or anything. But Kriya is just really dope. It's really dope. Oh, I thought it was going to be more of a landing page. I guess they don't have that anymore. All right, that's fine. But this is Kriya. I use this all the time to create backgrounds, to create images. So I want to show y'all. You can actually train Kriya. I'm getting too excited, y'all. Let me calm down.
Y'all done fired Marshall up.
You can train Kriya on your own images to create images of yourself for YouTube thumbnails, y'all. You could train it. So what you do is you go over to train, and then you upload images, about 20 to 30 images of yourself, different poses, where you'll be able to use this to create images of yourself. So look, you see I've done this already for different purposes, right? So this is what I use to create the 3D versions of myself for the 3D videos that I do, the Disney style videos that I do on my new channel, right? So I did this with Doc. I said, Doc, is it cool if I train you inside of train Kriya on your likeness so I could use this to show people how you can do this to create images of yourself? First, we got to give a shout out to photographers. You definitely want to use images. You know, you can take them of yourself in eCam doing different poses, right? Make sure the lighting is consistent. You can use professional photos. So by no means are we saying don't use a professional photographer, but you can use this as a way to supplement what you already have, right? Supplement what you already have. So I put those images that Doc sent us into Kriya, right? These are the training images that I use. So these are actual images of Doc, right? And then I have some from another photo shoot that he did. Shout out to
Dude,
Anna.
that's on the hill, bruh. On the hill. She
Yep.
killed it.
Yeah.
She
So
got
then,
the this is why you talk about having a professional photographer. Anna nailed the what is that? The connection, the like the homies in between Mary Lou and I in our photo shoot. Like you
oh,
could
for
just
sure,
tell.
for
You
sure.
would think that like we grew up on the same block, which we kind of just are
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, right? She nails it. Like you can't do that without her. Which is why I said yesterday her video. She should make a AI video, or sorry, a regular YouTube video, which is just her calling out poses that you can listen to while you're trying to
yeah,
do your shots. Put your shoulder down,
yeah,
lift your neck up, tilt your head back,
yeah.
whip your
She's a
hand back and
beast, and
forth.
shout out to Mary Lou as well. She was cropped out of those images only because I needed to train the AI on Doc only. But shout out to Mary Lou.
That's cool.
Yeah. So look, y'all, check this out. So once you train it, it takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes. You add a few photos in there. And you can train it on objects as you can see here. I'm working on this for my next video, and this is my favorite vehicle here. So I trained it on this the Lucid Gravity. And these are AI images, y'all. They didn't get the name right on the back, but these are AI generated images of this vehicle. So check this out, y'all. These are not real images of Doc. These are not real.
Look, they got my on air sign, son. Yo, I used to have a studio desk
Yeah.
like that. That's it's called the
So,
a
and I didn't even
Weston
prompt
desk.
anything. It just spat these out after I trained the
Yo, wait,
images.
can you
So
go
it
to that
says
last
use
one
with
again?
flux.
I think you got the fatness right. Yes, that's about my right amount of fatness.
I
Yo,
said, you said.
the moves are a little pronounced, but my moves ain't that
But
bad.
we take that out in Photoshop.
Damn, that is crazy
So if I
balls.
hit use with flux, right? So now we have his style trained in here, and you can mix and match styles as well. So I have some prompts. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna open up some prompts that I have. And so we're just gonna do a headshot, right? So I'm gonna paste the prompt in here, and you can use chat. This is another nugget. You can use Chat GPT for prompts to say, "Hey, I'm looking to create AI generated images of myself, headshots or whatever. Can you give me 5 different prompts for X purpose? For headshots." So this first one is for a headshot with colored background. So I got this prompt out of Chat GPT. So and I put Doc style in here, and you can adjust the intensity. I'm gonna bring it all the way up, and I'm gonna hit generate. Boom. And you can
Yo,
change the
look at the stuff in the back corner over there. Like it's not my
yeah,
stuff, but it's my stuff. And look, the
right.
Rodecaster Pro is on the shelf. The shelf is wrong, but it don't really matter,
Yeah, and the thing,
bro.
look, this is the thing. Like the main purpose of this, because this is a thumbnail workshop. I would be masking out
I'm
all
gonna
this
mask it out anyway.
anyway.
Holla back, youngin.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be using the background. But I'm just showing y'all how easy and fast it is to create AI generated images of yourself as well. So you can change the aspect ratio. So let's do square is fine, but let's do 16:9. And you can drop the style if you want. I hit generate. Of course, I like to keep the style pretty high because I wanted to make sure it captures his likeness, but you can add other styles as well. It has different styles here that you can mix and match as well. But I tend not to go more too artistic. I tend to make it more photorealistic. So I don't really experiment with a lot of other styles. But I did create a unique like Pixar style for my own stuff. And then these are other styles I created. This is my wife's
Dude, I was gonna
Pixar
say, is that her right there?
style.
Look at her. She look like she don't. It looked just like her.
Yup, yup.
It's
It's my
so
wife's
crazy.
Pixar style.
Yo, that's so
Yep. So she'll be
crazy.
making a debut in the next video, riding along in this gravity with me. The AI generated image of my wife. This is another a client. Oh, I want to show y'all this too. I use this for thumbnail. I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. Where's
I
freeform?
like the
Hold on.
skinny head version of me. It's wrong, but it looks.
You see, did I add it in here? Oh, I highlighted this because I thought this was a real nice display of how he does his thumbnails, and he has a
Yo,
consistency by just
Mark
having the border
is
around his
so
videos.
good,
And then
so
he's kind
good.
of mid sentence. He
Yeah.
doesn't have that many subs, but he literally just started his channel a couple of weeks ago. But I thought this was really nice. Like consistency can come in a many different ways. So this is a way that this guy's he has consistency in his look and feel. He has that film grain. He has like a LUT or color grade that's consistent. It's the same exact framing. He's in the middle of saying something, and then he has a couple words on his thumbnail, and then everything's just clean and consistent. Um, So where is it here? So for example, of course, make sure that your background, like Doc said, it connects to your audience. He talks about trading, but I wanted to show you how powerful AI is. This image is AI generated. This image is AI generated. This image is AI generated. You want to make sure you're conveying authority depending on what you're talking about. This is real. This is real. This image is AI generated. This image is AI generated.
Are you prompting the
This
hand
image is AI
motions?
generated. What'd you say?
Are you prompting the hand motions in the AI?
Yeah, I am. Yep. So I'm going to show y'all that because you
The
will
reason
get
why I asked
some
that
junk
question
in
because
there.
normally AI fails with hands,
Yeah.
but it's getting better. I can tell his
Yeah,
fingers are a
it is
little
getting
long
better.
in 86, but I mean the average person ain't gonna know that. I
Yeah,
mean,
my wife said the same thing.
you
when
know what
I
I'm
was I
saying?
was literally sitting on the couch.
I mean,
I
cause
was
like
sitting on the couch.
I don't think if he could
Yeah.
if he had fingers that long for real, he wouldn't be making these thumbnails. He'd be
Yeah.
balling. He'd be out here with Jason
Yeah,
Tatum.
no, he does have pretty big hands though. Like you see this,
Yeah,
these are his actual hands. Like this
yeah.
bottom right, this one's real. These are real. But yeah, the fingers are a little on the longer side. And there is a lot of junk that you kind of have to sift through.
It's all
This is
good.
another quick nugget too. When you do your thumbnails, like if you hit these 4 stocks will explode. So I have him putting up the 3 stocks will explode, 3, stuff like that. 5 Bitcoin stocks I'm buying, putting up 5 because it just kind of helps to
Yep.
create that cohesive look in messaging when it comes to the thumbnail. Just because people they make a split decision whether they're going to click on your video or not. So if I see Aristotle mid sentence with the number 5 up and I read 5 Bitcoin stocks I'm buying, it kind of helps to push the message forward to get me to click on the video. So that's a couple nuggets there. So let's say,
Y'all don't know this, but my thumbnail's about to change. Me and Kree are gonna have fun.
yeah, it's so much fun. So let me do this one more time in this boom, there we go. All right, so let's do another one. I'm just gonna quickly go through these different prompts. So this is for like an editorial style photo shoot. So it's not just for thumbnails, but it's very helpful for thumbnails.
I
So
just
depending
tripping
on
out how
the
good
prompt
it
is
does the
everything.
background with the Rodecaster Pro in the back and the on-air sign in the back. That's just crazy.
Yep. Yep. So of course you'll have some junk in here. Like this doesn't really look like Doc on the side. But you had some stuff that really looks like him. And you also will have to upscale it because as you can tell, the quality isn't the best because of the model that it's using. And the model that it's using is called Flux. Not to go too far down the rabbit hole, it's using Flux 1.0. So they have newer versions of Flux that are more advanced, but you can't use custom styles with them just yet.
Right.
So
And
I'm gonna
this
use
is on
this
the
next prompt.
basic or the pro plan. I know you.
Um,
You're on the
I don't
28,
know. I know I'm on the
20,
highest plan,
the
but
28.
just go to Korea and then check out their pricing.
Okay.
Um, but I think it's about $60 a month. But you can do so much within it because you can generate videos within this as well using a bunch of the other tools that are out there.
Yep.
You can generate them right inside of Korea, and then you can also upscale the images as well. All right, let me show you a couple more.
This
So
is
that
gold.
one was a studio portrait with a classic backdrop, and this next one is a casual lifestyle portrait. This prompt here, so you can see the prompts right here,
Oh, it's
and
so good.
then and it all depends on. This is another nugget. Vary your facial expressions because if I wanted to prompt Doc with a sad face or upset face or surprised face, I won't have it because he didn't supply that to me, right? So if you no, I know he just did these in a rush to get them over to me, but if you're going to be training the AI for thumbnails, make sure you give it enough facial expressions to work from.
All
Because
right,
if I try to
I
prompt,
gotta
hey,
say, I gotta tell you something, Marsh. Listen, people.
yeah,
Wait, let me go back because I had Marsh learn the wrong thing. Um, I hate taking thumbnails in this kind of thing. I know I just take myself down the hallway and go into the photo room and I just set my camera up to take pictures and I take pictures. So I was kicking
yeah,
and screaming, but now I can see doing this, it's worth it.
right,
Right. I was always a person that's like, I'm not a fan of stealing the shot out of the video because at one point the quality wasn't good. Now everybody got a
right.
4K camera. It's better. And doing this is dope. So I take back my kicking and screaming. I have been converted.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So now I'm going to do this last one, which is a cinematic outdoor shot. And then I'm going to show you how to upscale it.
Oh, this is
Oh, this is
sick.
kind of cool.
Well, it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Japan, but it was almost right.
Right. So look, we could put it in. Let's see. I don't know where it says this is cityscape. Let's just say on the beach, blurred with a beach on the background. Let me see if I
I
can
like how there's
do it.
that. Like
Okay.
Floyd said, make sure you don't watch. There's two of y'all. First of all, the bottom one looks like I'm in Portsmouth, but then the second one is there's also me walking behind me because it's like I just wanted to be Ken and Glenn so much I made an extra doc. What you mean I
Yeah,
look
that's
like? I
funny. That's
always look
funny.
like a model, Janice. Don't get banned from the YouTube chat.
All right, so I changed the location to a beach and I changed the P code to a tropical button up shirt. Let's see what it gives us.
Dude, that looked like my shirt. Oh my!
Right,
Oh,
because
that's
it's
because it
going
got it
based
from the
off of the
train.
data
Okay,
that it gave.
I was gonna be like, yo, that
Yeah,
looks like my shirt, fam. And that face right there in the
yeah.
top right, I'd be making that face.
Cool. So now I'm going to show y'all quickly how to upscale it because the quality isn't. Let's go with this one, right? So as you can see, the quality isn't amazing, but we can upscale it. So I'm going to copy this image and go up here to enhance, and then I'm going to do Command V to paste it. Oh, that didn't work. So hold on, let me go back and save it real quick. And I'm going to give y'all the you'll kind of have to mix and match the we're really it's like trial and error when it comes to the actual settings, but I'm going to give you the settings that I use to get the best upscale. So hold up, let's find
Thank you,
this one's
Tora.
good.
Yo, this is so good, people. This is so good. Y'all know the rules, man. Listen, when you catching this kind of flames over here, the rule of thumb is you just got to drop foxes in the chat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and if you guys are worried about the framing, like if we keep the prompt simple, let's just say a studio shot of man sitting on a stool. Oh shoot, I gotta add. Look, I forgot to add in the style, so I have to add in the style of doc. So I'll come back here, I'll bring it up, and then hit generate. Now we have doc sitting on the stool. Right. So you can change the framing. So it all comes down to your prompts.
See, and then honestly, if you think about putting in the pre-ad, doing it like Anna said yesterday, the picture of Fulgen sitting on the stool, like if you had that and you used it to train it,
Yeah.
it would be more like, what Anna had Fulgen's doing. This first dude
Let's just say
on the
orange
top row in
background.
number 3, it looked like he did something wrong. He turned it
Right.
sideways.
Let's say waist up. Let's just do editorial style to see if it gives us more. And you guys can use this for headshots and stuff like that. But still, use your professional photographer first, and then use that to train your AI.
Dude, he even got the Adidas
So of
right.
course they don't have Ecamm's the name correct down here, but it does have the logo surprisingly well. So all right, so if we go back to the enhance, not train. So I'm gonna add this image of Doc in. So it's generating a prompt. So you want to go over to the right hand side. Can you guys see this? Let me make sure you can see this. Yeah, you should be able to see it. So so the strength that I recommend is 0.2, because if you leave it as is, it's gonna kind of change his face. So I can actually show y'all what it looks like if I just was to enhance it like this. So if I was to enhance it like this, it's gonna generate, but I'm gonna bring this down to 0.2. And feel free to save these parameters. The resemblance, I like to crank it all the way up to 1 because I want it to resemble him 1,000%, right? And then clarity, anywhere from 0.6 to 1.0 is good. So let's just do 0.7, and then I'll do enhance. So you can compare these two.
Janice, thank you for saying this. I've been screaming this for about 4 years now. And it's getting easier every other week. Like there's no excuse not to
Oh,
make
for sure.
content nowadays. I'm constantly screaming there's no better time than right now to be a creator, and next week is going to be better. And the week after that is going to be better. Like
Oh yeah.
it's so dope right now.
Yeah. All right. So Now you see the enhancement. So on the left is what I got out of Kriya, and on the right is the enhancement. So as you can see, it added clarity to his face as well. So this I'm just explaining, I'm just showing you guys this one tool because I use so many different tools. I actually use Magnific the most. It's another tool called Magnific for upscaling that I think does the best job, but that of course that's an additional fee. I also use Photo AI as well, but that's an additional fee. But I like Kriya because I feel like it's the best all-in-one platform, and I've come to value speed more than a lot of other things. So you see how fast it generates the images, right? So and then I can upscale it right in here. So if I was to go to the default parameters, as you can see, this ain't doc, right? It added a lot of clarity and detail, but that's not doc. So I played around with the settings, and I feel like this does the best job at upscaling it and still looking like doc. So you can of course adjust the strength and the clarity if let's say you want less details. But you guys know, I'm sure we all have the apps that we use on our phone or wherever to to retouch ourselves. Like me personally, to get rid of my dark circles and stuff like that. So but this will give you a really good output really quickly from Kriya. So I'm gonna show y'all quickly how to generate something with a pose, right? Generate image. Let me see, man sitting on stool. All right, so if I want to do, let's reuse let's reuse one of these prompts up here. And y'all use ChatGPT for your prompts. Okay, just tell it what you want to see, and it'll or retry. So I'm gonna bring that down here. It'll give you the prompt. Okay, I'm gonna say, man, salt and pepper beer, smiling warmly, blah. So I'm just gonna say the background is white because we'll be masking this stuff out anyway. The background is a white studio backdrop. Lighting is even and flattering. All right, I'm saying the man is pointing to the side. So heads up, y'all gonna see some junk. All right, we're going to get some twisted up fingers. It's gonna look crazy. However, we're looking for the gem. We're looking for the gem in there. So it may be 10 to 20% is usable. That's what we're looking for. But it's so fast that you can find it pretty quickly. All right. Oh shoot, I forgot forgot to add the style. So let me come back here and add doc style. So that's what it's called. It's a style. All right, now let's do it again. No, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad.
That's dope. And you just said something really important. I think people need to hear. Most people mess up on AI because it didn't do what I wanted on the first go, and then they kind of quit. And I'm like, no, dude, you got to give it a couple instructions. I mean,
Yep.
Joel, how many times your wife got to tell you the same thing before you do it? Just think of it like that.
Yep. So look, as you can see, like this is probably one that I could use, right?
Love that.
Maybe this one. But look, this one, for example, another thing I like about Cree is I can, if I like this pose, I can vary this and it will give me 4 other ones that are really similar to this. So if I hit vary, so it gave me 4 others that are really similar. So this one, Doc looks a bit more surprised. This one, not as surprised. This one, a little more cheerful, right? This one, he's looking towards whatever it is that he's pointing at. So, yeah, so that's how you do poses, and you can let's just say holding up 2 fingers. Hold up. We'll see where we added it. The man is holding up 2 fingers. 2 fingers. Because let's just say because he's covering 2 topics in his YouTube video. This photo is for a YouTube thumbnail. I like to give it more information than it needs. I'm like, I'd rather give it more than not enough. You know what I'm saying? See, it looks a little crazy. So you might have to, let's just say the peace sign.
Yeah, that makes sense. Boom, right there, number 2.
See, this one could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one could work,
So
and then we could
you
vary
just
it.
basically vary that.
Yeah.
Joe said his wife is listening, and she said 100 times. See, so Joel, you can tell her what Floyd said, that the AI it only does what the instructor tells it to do. So check the instructions, and then if you get kicked out the house, don't blame me, blame Floyd.
Right. Right. And you can find something to look, and you can also mix and match style. So let's mix Doc with my Disney Pixar style that
Dude,
I
the
created.
Pixar Marshall is so good. Every time I'm watching on the Monday video, I'm cracking up laughing because the Pixar Marshall is so
Oh, I
good. He be
appreciate
on
it.
his computer doing this thing. The floating one, oh my god, dude, the floating one was everything.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yep. So this is a little tricky because it actually took me a while to get to my Disney Pixar style. So it's not gonna be as easy to do with Doc, but you can mix and match styles. But let me just see. This is a Disney is in the style of Disney Pixar 3D. Some generators they don't even let you
Yeah, type
do
the
generate
word.
anything
Yeah,
with Disney
yeah.
animation. But you would kind of have to crank his style down and then crank the Disney Pixar style up. So if I crank this up and then try to crank this up. So we're starting right. We're starting to get there. So you kind of have to mix and match.
Listen, Kriya, I don't wear pocket tees. Get that out your head.
Right.
I'm not that dude.
But yeah, that's just some game. So this is Kriya.ai, highly recommended just for thumbnail support, thumbnail image support. Like I said, you may get some junk like this, like I don't know what's going on here, where the thumb is. Maybe it's on the other side. You only got 4 fingers, but you're bound to get some heat out of here, right? So even his face alone,
That is
excuse me,
so good.
if he was to take his fingers out, just his head alone, he could use,
Yeah,
right?
but this is really, really good.
Yeah, and you see how fast it is, and the stuff is only getting more and more advanced. So
Wait, we're gonna be like that, John. Oh, that's too good.
yeah,
That is too good. Listen, guys, I want to just sort of remind you again. Try to keep. I mean, these are just things to keep in your head. Don't overcomplicate it, and please, for the love of everything holy, do not put the title of the video in your thumbnail. Like, I almost don't even try to have the same word that's in the thumbnail end up in my title. And if you ever need the workshop titles, okay, I'm gonna give you a little game real quick. Let me bring this over here, and let me go to where's my screen share? I'm gonna go to my screen share, and I'm gonna pull up Chadwick GPT. You can use whatever. I find currently I'm using Claude a lot more, right? But you could actually go in and give it a thumbnail that you recently created, right? So let me drop this one in here real quick and say, how can I improve this thumbnail based on YouTube? Okay, super horrible. You know what? I never know how to type. Shut up, Tora. Don't say it. I know what you're thinking. And then boom. It's going to give you some input. I don't know how to upload it. I said, oh, I knew what I did. I messed up. My bad. Let me fix this. I said improve, and it changed it to import because of my horrible typing. So let me re-edit this. Go away. It won't let me edit. Look, I'm gonna just cheat. I'm just gonna cheat. Do it again. This is what Floyd said. if you give it the horrible instruction, you're gonna get a horrible answer. Okay.
yep, garbage in, garbage out.
All right. So give it a chance to think on that, and then while it's doing that, You see it says increase the text contrast because the Canva is too close to the background. You know what I mean? So this is where one of Marshall's
Mm-hmm.
little glow elements would help that stick out, right? Refine the face placement. There you go. Adjust the facial crop because it realizes that I'm dropping the button. This is how smart this thing is. It realizes that I'm hiding part of the face with the button, right? I increase the background clarity because it knows I have some blurry stuff back there, which is on purpose. But this will give you tips. Now you could also say, I have this in my copy thing because I do this all the time. Now create engaging, provocative, SEO friendly YouTube description. I won't do that. Oh, actually, I'm going to skip that one. I wanted to give me some titles. So I say, give me some curiosity gap triggering titles for this video. So that way your title and your thumbnail doesn't be the same. Are you wasting your
That's
end
good.
screens? Here, how to fix it. Secrets to high converting YouTube end screens in Canva. What most creators get wrong. How to make this end screen not work, right? Like you can get better titles just by giving it your thumbnail, right? Because you guys are making titles that don't do anything. And I specifically said, give me that, curiosity gap, right? So what if I do curiosity gap for this video and using PAS framework. If you, PAS means problem, agitate, solution. And if you don't know those things, tell it to chat. Please teach me a bunch of marketing frameworks that work. Because PAS is one of the biggest. If you watch the Super Bowl commercial, there's tons of PAS joints in there, right? Your YouTube end screens are costing you views. Here's how to fix it. Problem, agitate, solution. And if you really think about it, that's your script right there. The problem, bad end screens reduce watch time because you're giving people too many choices, blah, 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 blah. Many creators miss out on getting these extra views. And so don't be one of them. Learn how to effectively make those end screens. This is kind of the basis of your script. So that's a little bit of gems to take your thumbnails even further. Once you produce a heater, then go up in there and like, say, hey, dude, tell me some good titles for this.
Yep.
Why you
Yep.
gotta have JB Smooth? Joel is killing. You guys drop questions, man. Drop questions real quick. Otherwise,
Yeah, and I got
time.
something else to show y'all too.
Yeah, you do that, and while they pull their questions together.
So I'm glad Doc brought up ChatGPT because y'all look, it's never been easier. It's never been easier to create dope graphics right now, and this is coming from a professional graphic designer, right? So on one hand, I could be like, oh, well, now everybody's invading our space, XYZ,
No,
or
they
they
ain't,
want to
because
take
y'all
my
didn't know
job.
what
I
we
could
just
be a
taught y'all
complainer.
today.
Or I could be like, look, this is how you use it. This is how you use these tools to create what you need to create. So ChatGPT is cool because look, for example, let's say you want to create a background, a background for your video. So what I like to do, I don't say what I like to do, but what I do sometimes, and I literally just did this yesterday for the Flow's new background. Let's just say, let's go to Adobe Stock, and you can go to anywhere. You can go to Google, you can go to Pinterest, anywhere where you can get some ideas from. Let's just say abstract wave background. Oh, okay. This is kind of cool. But let's find like more of a typical YouTube type of background. Um, hmm. Let's use this one for example. So if I copy this image, let me just save this image. Of course, I would license it. I have enough credits to license it. But let's
Dude,
say
I
I
had
wanted to
so
create
many stock
variations.
credits, it ain't funny.
Yeah, I know, right? But let's say I want to create variations just for some variety. So I don't want all my backgrounds to be the same. So I go to ChatGPT and I'll upload it just like Doc did. Upload from computer. And then I'll say, can you I'll just let it know. hello. I always greet the AI because I don't want no smoke. Machines come alive. Hello. I like to create more images like this. Can you give me a prompt for this image? And then I'll let it think, and it's gonna describe it or give me a prompt. A futuristic abstract background with smooth curved layers, shapes, creating a sense of depth. Blah blah blah. So I can paste this right into Krea right now, y'all. So start a new session. So I'm going to change the aspect ratio to 16:9. I'll paste it in as is just to see what it gives me. Pretty cool, right? But then I can also add in, oh, look, I have doc style up here. So I need to remove both of these. Let me try that again. So I'm already generating background images that fast. But I can add in the image that I saved from Adobe stock. And then you can adjust the intensity. I'll leave it at 0.4 just to see what it gives us. And then I'll go ahead and crank it up. The only thing is it may have watermarks on it because that's what's on the image. But let me crank this up. Generate. So it's looking like it doesn't have watermarks on it, which is good. So as you can see, I'm getting what this one does.
Sick. See, look,
Yeah.
your mouse is already there.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm getting more images that are similar to what I already had. But even look, what happens is you'll come in here and you'll start this process. It's like, look, I want to go in this direction more so than the other direction. So I'll hit vary here. So then it's going to give me 4 different ones that are really similar to that initial one. So you'll end up finding something or creating something, and then you can go ahead and upscale it inside of the Create Enhancer, and it'll be really nice. So let's say I want to save this one, for example. I'll save it, downloads, and then I'll go to enhance, upload it. And then I'll just leave the settings pretty much the same once it uploads. But what I'll likely do is you can change the actual model or at least tell it what it is. So that'll kind of help with the upscaling because it, if it thinks it's a portrait, it's going to try to enhance it where it's going to be optimized for a portrait as opposed to it being like an abstract background.
Mike manifestation, I assume in this question you mean without text in the thumbnail. That really depends on your video and the actual thumbnail. So we talked about at the very beginning of this. So watch the replay. It'll be done as soon as this is over. But it can work. So that is the question. And Taisha, what I would do is just blur the heck out of it. I was talking to what's my man's name? Paul? No, it's not Paul. Man, my brain just went dumb. Patrick. I was talking to Patrick in the Ecamm chat yesterday. He has a thing where he's doing this in the front, and because his camera is set to 2.4, his mic is blurry, his face is sharp, the background is blurry. That's because he's using like 2.4, 1.8, whatever, probably Sigma 16, 1.8. So you can't get everything in focus. And if you move a little bit, like Fulgens yesterday, you're in and out of focus. So what I said is take one at f8. Everything is in focus. Take another one like you normally take, and then take one more at f8 where you walk out the whole room. So all it sees is this, right? And then you just go in your cutout in Canva or whatever, and then put yourself back into the background. So you can fully adjust the background. So in your case, I will put the camera on absolutely blurry and take a shot of the background without you in it, and then take your shots with you in it, and then stick them together.
That's good. That's a good nugget. Krea, it didn't upload for some reason. You'll find that with these new AI tools, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. They work more often than not, but don't be surprised if it hangs up. However, this is another tool that I use for upscaling. And I see Anna's comment where she said, I'm going to use this software to enhance some headshots that my clients want to be extra about. Thank you. Look, I got something for you. You're a professional photographer, so you need to be using Magnific, Anna. You need to be using Magnific. These tools like Krea, this is for hobbyists, but you are a professional, so use Magnific. I'll show you that. This is what you need to use because this will add unparalleled realism to your shots, right? So I use this to upscale the image. This is me testing it out yesterday with one of Doc's shots. But it adds unparalleled realism to the shots. Because as you can see, sometimes it's a little too realistic. But like for example, this is an AI generated image of one of my clients. So as you can see, this is what I got out of Kriya. But then as I swipe through, you see the clarity that it adds. So Anna, I would use this instead, because of your profession. So
Yeah.
I'm trying not with this workshop. I don't want to give people too many tools. I'm trying to give y'all a one-stop solution. So for the vast majority of folks, Kriya is going to be a good one-stop solution. But I have all this stuff, y'all. Like I'm obsessed. So, but
And
as you can
Anna,
see, like
also
if we zoom into it,
you probably heard this before. This is Topaz AI. This is what Gretchen and I both use. This has been for photographers. This has been the go-to solution for probably like 20 years. But check out Topaz.
yeah, Topaz is good too.
The one thing that's
The
good
only
about
thing I found,
Magnifica is that you can do it when you need it. It's like turn it on and off. With Topaz, it's on sale right now, but you're gonna drop like $300 out the gate, and then you just have it.
yeah,
Whereas with Magnifica, I've used it before. I just turn it on when I need it. I handle my business. I turn it back off because I don't use
yeah,
it as often as say Marshy does, right? So Topaz is
yeah.
dope, and I got the bundle, so it had like gigapixel and regular lab mixed together at Christmas. So gigapixel is
Yeah.
super sweet. But yeah,
Yeah,
so the first one
Gigapixel's
is
dope.
AI, gigapixel
Topaz.
is normal.
Yeah. Yup.
Dude, this is so good, bro. This is so good.
Yeah. So as you can see here, so this is Topaz. So this is when I upscale one of Doc's images yesterday. So as you can see, it adds more clarity. And this will kind of give you that YouTuber shine as well. And you can refine it. It will recover the face, so it looks for things like your eyes and your mouth and stuff and your teeth, so it knows what to
Dude,
upscale.
the
But
fact
you
that
may
it
end up
blessed
with
up
in a
the
suit.
catch lights, that's the thing I mean, so this is like sort of
Yeah.
inside photography, but the catch lights is that sparkle in your eye.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
Floyd
Yep.
said AI generation has become a hobby. Yo,
Yeah. So this is of
killing
course
it.
Magnific. Um, so I use Magnific a lot when I need like super a high detail. Like for example, the image of myself that you see in this thumbnail for this video is AI generated. And the image that I have on my LinkedIn profile is AI generated. So I use definitely would recommend Magnific for the highest possible
What
quality.
was you going to say
But let's see
was
what
the bless up of Magnific versus Topaz? You were about to say something and then you stopped.
you said, Magnific versus Topaz.
Yeah,
So I like Magnific better just because I feel like it gives me a more realistic image than Topaz gives
got it,
me
got it.
um out the gate, you know? So let me see. Well, as you can see, well, I closed them out. Let me go back to this one. If I zoom in here. So this is with my main upscale. Oh, let me hit main upscale, right? So it's gonna recover the face. And of course you can play with the settings. So it does a really great job quickly. But I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like little small dots um making up the image. I don't really care for that. It does a really good job. And this is like $200 to $300 as well. So
Yeah,
but
yeah.
however, Magnific, I think it might be like, I don't know, $30 to $40 a month. But I only really recommend this for people that really need to upscale their images and do it all the time, like Anna. Like she's literally a photographer, so she could benefit from this. And
Right,
she
it'll
may
make
not
a
even
big
need
difference.
this.
Now, don't go,
Yeah.
and for you guys, like, don't use too much of your credits on upscaling because YouTube is going to smash it to 1280 by 720. So,
Yeah.
this is the hardest part. I know it's hard for me. It's probably more hard for Marshall. I come from print world. So I be looking at it like it has to be print quality. And then I realize this is not going to do anything. I
Yeah.
can't. It's just not going to make a difference. So it just really depends on what you're using it for. If I'm going to go to Flyer, which again something that Marshy does a lot, then yeah, I'm trying to go all in. So just don't go too crazy with your upscaling because again, your actual image for YouTube is 1280 by
Yep.
720. So
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
if
So we're
your
just giving
video
you
is
this is
good, they're not staring at the thumbnail. They're going to just click it.
Yeah, this part of the workshop is definitely for the advanced, probably unnecessary in most cases, tips and tools. But I want y'all to be aware of them.
For
So as
sure.
you can see here, I upscale this inside of this is called Open Art. So as you can see, this is the original image out of Korea, and this is with the upscale version. So as you can see, this is ready to rock and roll.
Bro,
So this is the
so
creative
good.
upscale, and this is another model that I used for refined upscale. So I like to mix and match because there's different ways you can upscale them. So sometimes it kind of reinterprets the image as well. Like as you can see with the upscale version, added a few more lines right here in this middle section than it is on the original. Well, it's like a faint line right there, but this is ready to rock and roll. Like as you can see, it's no pixelation, no blurriness, and it's nice and crisp. Add a bit of an extra glow down here. So I will go ahead and download this, and it would be ready. But as you can see, I created a unique image that I own and I can use for whatever purpose that I need just by downloading a reference image from Adobe Stock, generating it, creating a prompt inside of ChatGPT, generating images inside of Krea, downloading one and then upscaling it within, less than 5 minutes. I have a nice background image. So that's literally what I did yesterday for the flow images. So that's another nugget that you can use Krea for as well, is to generate background. And you can get more specific. It doesn't have to be abstract. You can say, give me an image with the you know, let's do it now.
There you go. Katie
Let's
got
just say, give
Katie
us
got the gem. You can make this as simple as complicated as one. The main thing is get in the habit of creating, and these are effects.
boom.
So
That's
Tommy,
it.
somebody asked this question yesterday, and it's many of the apps will try. Some of them do, some of them don't. It completely doesn't matter because Canva will cut it out. Adobe will cut it out. Photoshop will cut it out. Preview on your Mac will cut it out. So the reality is they will try. I have found, especially like ideogram, like their PNGs oftentimes has rubbish in the background. It doesn't matter. Even the image tools that like Marshall is showing you, they have cut it out. So yes, the answer is yes, they will produce them. Don't depend on them anyway. You're just going to cut it out. Like it just works. Like
Hmm.
everything is so good at
Yeah.
cutting it out now. Matter of fact, I haven't
Yep.
tried this in a while. I think I've tried it before. You could actually throw an image at ChatGPT and then say cut the background out and it will do it. If I remember correctly.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
That's an
I
old
didn't even
one,
know
but
that.
I think it does that. And so yeah, don't stress about that. Somebody asked that same question yesterday. And to Marshall's point as well, if you generate images in Firefly, you can know for certain that they're okay because Firefly and Adobe, not Firefly, Adobe invented the ethical creation thing. Phil will talk about this tomorrow, I'm sure, but they are a consortium of like companies that promise not to be jacking people images. And people say, well, where'd they get all the info from? They're one of the largest stock libraries in the planet, ding dong. And when you give your stock image, when I submit a stock image, there's a checkbox. Only for this or open for everything. And most of the people want the bigger money, so they say open for everything. So they already gave permission when they uploaded their stock photo. And they didn't read the contract, that's their fault. So there's that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. And make sure if you guys are using these AI tools, you tend to want to use the paid version because if you're on a free plan, usually your images are public and then you don't have the commercial use. You don't have commercial rights to use it. So, I always make sure that I'm on a paid plan when I'm generating images. And like he said, make sure you know the terms of service and all that. Look, even if you don't feel like reading it, throw that thing in Chat GPT and ask it to give you a summary. You know what I'm
Gangster.
saying? Like it's that simple. So, but I just wanted to show you, you guys could create like 3D icons and whatnot to use on your thumbnails as well quickly
Bro, that's
inside of
so
Krea.
good.
Yeah. Yep. So Leonardo can do all this as well, but I just love the speed of Krea. It uses Flux and it's just so fast. It's just
I
crazy
just
fast.
set my Leonardo not to renew because Kriya and there's another. No, is it Pixa? Oh my God, my brain just went dumb. It begins with a P. Also super good, but yeah, it's crazy.
Extra credit, y'all. Free Pick is another good one that has so many AI tools. And you can also train models in here as well. So I've been
Extra
a member of
credit.
Free Pick for years, but it has so many AI tools. Let me show y'all. Um, so as you can see, AI image generator, video generator, custom characters, image editor, retouch, upscale. You can remove backgrounds in here, custom styles. So many tools, y'all. It's another good all-in-one. It's just not quite as fast as Cree. I feel like Cree is the fastest. But just to give y'all some quick game, a lot of these image generators like Krea and Free Pick, they use the same underlying architecture, the same
Stable
models, but they
diffusion.
just present it in a different way and it's a different user interface.
Yep.
So just so y'all know, like um So I'm gonna show y'all. Let me see. Image generation tools. Create AI image generator. Explore my creations. So I created these of Doc with the images he created. So in the interest of time, I already trained the model on him. So these are just some images of him that I created, right? Different style, a couple different styles. Not all of them capture his likeness 100%. Um, that's why I like just experimenting, right?
Dude, why did you turn me into a freaking Cuban poppy at number 3?
What this is this
No,
it?
go higher. Go higher.
Oh, oh,
Right
this one.
there. Look,
Look, the AI did that on its own.
dude, I look like I like one of Anna's relatives up in Washington Heights talking, hey, you want to go to Bloomingdale's?
Right. So look, I'll show y'all one of mine. The only thing about mine is so I have a few that I created. I had different hairstyles in mine, so
Yes,
mine always
Tyson.
turn out
Yes,
looking crazy.
that makes 3 of us.
Let me see, sitting in the office.
That's super
So
funny.
half the time I got cornrows, half the time I don't. So, but the thing is, I mainly use it now for like my channel where it's like for lo-fi music and just chilling, relaxing. So it's a 3D Pixar version of myself. So I don't like sit here and like if I don't have a specific use for creating images of my likeness, I don't do it. So of course I did all this stuff at Doc preparing for this thumbnail. I mean for this workshop, but it's easy to get sucked into the rabbit hole of just sitting here for hours. But I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? So I mainly create images like of my 3D likeness for my other channel. And then if I need, like I told Katie, she was like, all right, when I agreed to do this workshop, she's like, all right, can you shoot me a thumbnail? Shoot me a headshot. I said, all right, cool. Let me use AI to generate one real quick, and I did that and sent it to her.
Yo, Fulgence, I need homie in that shot to be holding the Cafe Bustelo. Then we be all right, bro. A cafecito. Oh my
So as you can
god.
see, it's not quite as fast as Kriya is. Um, but I think it still does a pretty good job, and it does have different models, and it'll tell you what models do what. I think Mystic, it supports custom styles and characters now, but Flux is the one that is the fastest.
That's
So that's
what
the one I tend to
everybody's
use the
popping
most.
on is Flux. It's so good.
Yeah, yeah. Flux is good. The only thing is, I'm hoping that, well, I know they will. The like you see the Flux 1.1 or they have Flux Pro. That they will support custom characters because the quality is a lot higher. So I may not even need to upscale them with Flux. Flux 1.0, well 1.1 at some point.
Yo, it
So it's
is
kind of taking.
extremely easy, Janice, to get sucked in and just find yourself. That's how you get into a spinning situation. You know what I mean? Like you're chasing the dragon, if you will. I mentioned that in my video from yesterday. Like, don't get out here chasing the dragon. It's hard.
Yeah, I'll show y'all this one.
I
Let's
like
see what
the
style this
Blue
is. I don't
Man
know if
Group
this is the.
joints you were going with.
Oh yeah, so this is my
Dude,
3D avatar,
look
my
at
3D likeness.
CEO Marshy over here.
Yo, that's funny.
That's
Let's
sick,
see,
bro.
with a blue T-shirt. Yeah, let's say with a blue T-shirt. See what it gives. So yeah, but then if I was to change this to my actual realistic self, see these images aren't even real of me, but let's crank this up.
Oh, that's how you keep it super meta, is you make it modify the AI version of you.
Yeah. So you even it's cool because it'll get it has my watch, my bracelets that I wear, my necklace, because
You
it's
got
going
your
based off of
plants
the
in the
training data that I
background.
gave it. Right. So then, but you can use ChatGPT to really fine tune the prompts. To say, look, I'm looking for a LinkedIn headshot. Can you give me a good prompt to use for a LinkedIn headshot? Then it'll do that. So your outputs can be a lot better. It's all about your prompts, y'all. Like garbage in, garbage out. But if you put good stuff in, you'll get good stuff out. All right, so it failed to generate, and it's fine.
Yo,
But
that's
yeah, that's
funny.
pretty much it. Korea, I highly recommend it. Just to kind of recap, make sure that your stuff is consistent. Where is my Adobe Express? Oh, here it is. You have a consistent design language if you're doing like a podcast style thumbnail. use high contrast fonts. I tend to like to use darker backgrounds with like gradients, just because I don't know. I guess I'm partial to that. And then having a white or colored text, large text on top of it, just so it can kind of pop. Um, and I look and see what's working. And for example, with Aristotle, with one of my clients, if he has a request for a specific video or a specific thumbnail, I will actually search YouTube for a similar video and see like what video has the highest views and borrow from that. You know, have a similar layout from it. It's not gonna look the same, but I'm like, okay, this video's performing. Let me create one that's similar to that. So that's something that I do as well. So I wouldn't shy away from doing that. Because at the end of the day, of course, you don't want to just copy off of somebody else's stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about attracting people to your content so it can make the impact that it's meant to make. So
Yo,
yeah.
and Janice, listen, I want you, everybody, but Janice, you got to go check out Marshy's new channel, Deep Work Designer. Family, it is everything. It is absolutely everything. It is so good. I just put this on in the back and then watch Floating Marshall fly around. But it's really cool, and it kind of show you the stuff that you can do when you got your AI game like mad tight. All right, here, let me switch back to this.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've been having so much fun. Shout out to my wife again, because this is like a passion project that I've had on the back burner for like a year. But she literally pried me away from client work on Christmas Eve and said, you should work on your own thing. So after me kicking and screaming, I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Next thing you know, threw myself into a whirlwind of just immersing myself into all these different tools, and I became obsessed. So I've been having a lot of fun, learning a lot, and of course sharing it along the way on Marshall Creates, on Ecamm. I found like that's like an outlet. I'm like, yo, check this out, let's do this, let's do that. But yeah, that's my outlet, my creative outlet. And if you're a creator, designer, podcaster, YouTuber, anybody, and you just want to chill out and relax and escape, unplug, slow down, definitely check out my channel, Deep Work Designer. I greatly appreciate it. If you It's kind of like a lo-fi channel, but like with my own spin on it. So thanks for the shout out, Doc. I appreciate
Dude,
it. Thanks,
it's super
Katie,
good.
for posting the link. I appreciate that.
That was me. It's a
Oh,
good
thanks,
it's a
Doc.
good
Appreciate it.
it's just a good way to be focused on something and not really think. Cause like this, you guys know me. If I got lyrics on, sometimes it just depends. Sometimes I can rock with it. Sometimes I'm singing the songs. I'll get up, I'll start dancing in the freaking room. And I was like, bro, you got stuff to do. Stop listening to that. Somebody sent me a playlist the other day, and it's like, I dare you not to dance or sing along. And by the time we got to the third song, which was SOS Band, I was done. Baby, we can do it.
Hilarious.
Take your time, do it right. Sorry, Floyd. I got him. He's going to be on that song today. Anyway, guys, I just want to make sure I covered all of your questions. We still have one more day of this phenomenalness. It's just absolutely incredible. Listen, you could take now, I want you to remember the most important thing about these workshops, and it's something that drives me bananas. You got this. Go play with it today. Like yesterday, or if you missed it, go watch Anna and Katie, and then go take some shots right away. I did promise to show you something. I'm going to do this right now before I forget. Let me go over to this one and bring up my configure the stream deck. I promised I would show you guys this. I almost forgot. Come on, live demo mode.
Shout out to Tor. She said we knocked out of the park. It all run, Mr. Cabs and Crocs.
All right, so
I had to get the Crocs in there.
The Crocs
My
is
calves
everything,
ain't
bro.
like they are in the video, but they ain't far off.
So I created this Stream Deck multi-action, right? And the way you start one of these is just go into the search box and type in multi, and you'll see where it says multi-action. Okay, so the first command in my multi-action is open Ecamm Live. It's already open, but I just want to make sure that the app comes into focus, because if we don't have a button to take pictures yet, we're triggering the keyboard shortcut. I will ask the boys. Actually, no, I'm going to have Anna ask the boys to make a button for screenshot, because then they'll do it. If I ask, it's just Doc, me, and Doc. So we know better. Forges and I run all feature requests through Anna. Okay, so I bring Ecamm Live to the front. I give it a delay. And I have my delay set for 3,000 milliseconds because first grade math, that's 3 seconds, right? Then it snaps a photo. And then I have it play a sound. And you're like, why in God's name would you have it play a sound? Well, because I want to know that the camera worked. Okay, so this is a different profile, so I have to put it in here. That's what you hear when it plays the sound. Nobody else is teaching this game. I'm teaching you this game because that's how you know to switch up your pose. So I can go and fix my play a sound button. Ecamm, do not do anything weird. Wait, I'm gonna have to close this and come back because I just had to put the sound in because this is a new profile, not my standard profile. Okay, so when you click on play a sound, you pull shutter click. Okay, and then strike a pose, take the picture, hit the shutter click all the way down. I have to fix all of these now, but I won't because it's for my other profile. At the end, I do 10. I do 10 shots in a row, not just one, because then you got to keep pressing the button and it takes you off your thing. Now, just so you can get game, is I'll come over here and I'll show you like what it looks like without everything in it. So I'll delete these. All right, so let me undo that last one. Oh, you can't even undo it, you jerk. So open Ecamm, wait 3 seconds, strike a pose. Then I go over to here and go Ecamm. At the bottom, play a sound, drop it in, and then I'm going to click on shutter click. Now, this part is a little irritating, but this is just the way this works. You cannot copy this whole entire group. Don't ask me why. So what you have to, and you also cannot option drag, which also, come on, Elgato, step your game up. So you just got to copy, come down here to the bottom and press paste. And I'm going to do this. I'll just do it 5. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to take this one, copy, select this one, skip one, and then paste. Skip one, paste. Skip one, paste down the list, right? So that way you can check it. I wish these were color coded, but my brain just figures it out. So it's play the sound, delay, take a picture. Delay, take a picture. So now I'm going to copy the sound, and then I'm going to go right before this, take a picture, and put it in. And so this is basically how I built it, all the way down the line. And then when you get down to the end, what you're going to do is put a final sound. Okay? And you got to move this one in order. So in the end, I add one more play a sound. And then on this play a sound, I use the glockenspiel or the horn or whatever makes your world goes. So I hit DJ horn. Then the last thing I did, which is completely unnecessary, is I have a graphic that pops up on the screen so that I know that I'm done. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a blank scene. I'm going to leave this open so you guys can see. And then I'm going to run this screenshot. Bingo, bango, pickle, mango. Bob's your uncle. Jim's your auntie. Fran is your auntie's cousin's mom's friend. That's how you do it. So
that's dope.
It's helpful. Everybody says just make it do that Stream Deck multi-act takes the pictures, but then your face is always going to be like, and when I was doing it for you, that's what took so long. And Kenny was like, hey, dude, where's your stuff? Because I was building the multi-action for the simple reason that I wasn't nailing any of the frames. So Katie's way of taking the video is easier, but even if you're going to do it in the video, I think it's good to have a soundtrack for you to work with. So if you're going to do it the video way, go into whatever your favorite editor is, maybe even Canva, and just have blank space, a click. Every 5 seconds, add a click, and then at the end, add a thing. And then if it's helpful to you, you can build this with your favorite song so that your photos have an energy to it. right? That's why I say I would
Yeah.
love the voice track of Anna, like, hold your shoulders up, stick them out, whatever, just those things, so you can remember to do it while you're taking the pictures. So make it easier for yourself. Listen to your hype track first. I can't play Rick Ross on the stream, but anybody who came with me to camp, that's what's on in the car on the first day when we going, right? And then just build yourself a little list and then make it easy for yourself, and then you're good to go, right?
Yeah, and make sure you're wearing something that you feel good in, feel confident in. That's an honor nugget from yesterday. Make sure y'all check out yesterday's stream, and the stream will be available right after this is over. And Paul, they're gonna add the chapter shortly. So, but yeah, make sure you're wearing something you feel comfortable in, you feel good, you feel confident in.
Yo,
So
Fudge's just
you can
leveled
flex,
up
you can
my thing,
pose.
dude. I love you, FJ. I just got to say, I love my brother. Listen, I told everybody if they was catching value from you in the chat to throw foxes. So he put my
And they
shaka
got the
and
foxes
the foxes and the
Oh, that's
shaka.
so
So that's for
super
both
dope.
of us. That's just brilliant. That's just
Appreciate
brilliant.
y'all,
And look,
man.
and Jay Nice caught the assignment. This is what I like about the Ecamm fam. You guys caught the assignment right away. So now we're going to take all of our favorite Ecamm streamers and we're going to pick an icon for them. And when they're giving value, we're just going to flood them with that, right? Just flood it with some cues when Paul is on. Anyway, gang, if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much. I am going to caffeinate right now because Marshall just filled up the whole brain. I highly suggest you take a break, excuse yourself from family festivities today or whatever, and go actually do some of this stuff. Because if you wait until Saturday when you think you got time, you done forgot everything, and then your frustration clicks in. I highly suggest you go play with this right here, right now. And then, of course, drop any questions in the community. And again, the offer still stands. If you want me to look at the thumbnail, and again, I'm going to be brutal because that's just what it is. Put your thumbnails in. If you want to make it private, send me a DM or something. I'll figure it out. I would like to help you help your thumbnails. If you want to see what it looks like, go look at Tori's channel and look at thumbnails from like 2 months ago and look at her thumbnails from like last month to now. That's what happens when I come after you. She asked for it, though. She asked for it.
One more day left, y'all. One more day of this fire
Dude, this
workshop tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in. This is the grand finale. They saved the best for last, I guess. So they got Phil Palin. I think that's how you pronounce it.
It's Phil Palin, yeah.
He's gonna be
Phil is
he's gonna be
beast,
rocking with us tomorrow.
Phil
Adobe
is
Express. He's an expert. Katie will be back, so make sure y'all tune in same time tomorrow. And before y'all jump out of here, please hit the like button. We would greatly appreciate it. And share this after you watch the replay. Share this on LinkedIn, wherever, so people could get this game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate y'all. And and just like Katie, this time I don't have a outgoing track. Normally I have an outgoing track ready, but you're just going to have to just say bye the old school way. Let me put the ad up and end it. Aloha, folks. Aloha.